Hey, I watched most of the Xbox conference, pretty much not paying attention, doing my dailies on closers, and then obviously some pretty exciting things happened. The first of which was Vesperia getting remastered, which is pretty cool. Most people, including myself, have not experienced the PS3 content. Also, it's going to be, permanently preserved on PC. It's also going to be on Switch as well. Now, the big thing was DMC5, so I figured I'll probably play some DMC3 once the style switcher is a little more evolved and updated. But today I'm just going to play some Assault Spy while I talk about the game. I don't like doing reaction videos or trailer analyses or anything like that, so I'm just going to play something similar and just go from there. Apparently the part of the lobby section in this actually got reworked, so I want to check that out really quick. Overall, I think the game looks great. Some people don't like the designs and stuff. It's always about the hairstyles and stuff instead of the gameplay. I think people are jumping the gun a little bit. It was a pretty good trailer, but it was also like 80% cutscenes, probably more like 90% cutscenes. So I'm definitely want to see more before I pass judgment. Go ahead and pick up Dash Plus here. I also need to get some more abilities. I'm missing a lot of the jump attack or just attacks and stuff. Ought to really open up his damage potential. I think this is the one that got changed, so let's check this one out. I think the game, like the graphics look great. I'm not really a big stickler for graphics. This game is not the best looking one out there, but the gameplay is really solid. I'm all about the gameplay, but I think it's impressive that they got it to look that good and still have it run at 60 FPS. My biggest concern with it is, is it going to have, the widely requested features that we've been asking for, like training mode, legacy weapons and things like that. I think that's what the series needs the most. This game actually makes a lot of cool advancements for the genre by having things like training mode. Oh, did it just glitch out? Hopefully Devil May Cry 5 won't be this glitchy either. We've all very openly announced that, or told him that he needs to either reduce the platforming or improve the momentum of Asadu, because right now he's very, it's not very nimble in the air, which kind of goes against all the ranged enemies and stuff. I hate these flying enemies. Oh, I'm glitched out. Apparently someone did a no damage run on this, on all the bosses, which is impressive in itself, but the game's not entirely stable as you're seeing here, so you have to wonder how many attempts he lost to Asaru just like not wanting to move like he's supposed to. So apparently the next information we're supposed to be getting about DMC5 is supposed to be Gamescom. I'm not exactly sure when that is, but I think it's towards the beginning of the fall or something. I just wish people weren't so negative towards games all the time. You know, I know that there's a lot hinging on this game. I think the biggest concern I have about it is not the gameplay, just the fact that they're spending so much on it. Like the quality of the assets and stuff just seems like it's crazy. And if the game doesn't do well, then they're gonna think that there's no market for them, and we're gonna be back to square one. You know, kind of the period between DMC4 and DMC. And then you can argue that the period between then and now, like, there hasn't been a whole lot to play. Depending on what you consider to be a stylish action game. Obviously, if there was nothing coming out at all, then I would not be uploading a video every single day. But in terms of games of, like, that quality, there's been, you know, it's been pretty much a drought for years now. And I just have a concern that they may be spending too much on it, and they may have, you know how Capcom is, they always have, like, really unrealistic expectations for the sales of their games. I know they'll get like a small niche game or something like Basara and expect it to sell like 1 million copies outside of Japan, which is basically not going to happen in this dimension. So I hope that things have changed with the suits of that company, but who knows. It seems like they want to bring back some goodwill with you know, the hardcore old school Capcom fans, because they lost a lot of that last year. Not last year, but last gen. And Inafune thought that westernizing all their very Japanese games was going to make them billionaires. And we all know that definitely didn't happen. Pretty much the opposite happened. Almost all those games bombed. I'm tired of fighting these annoying flying enemies. It's still not as, I don't know, he just doesn't feel like he has that many options to deal with it. So I'll show a little bit of the, new level. The part of the new level that's not the stealth. Or not. I guess it's just not going to let me do that. Let me see if this counts. If this is the stealth level, then that's no good. So my biggest wants for DMC5, I mean, they're already going to have 3 characters. It's pretty obvious that Virgil is in the game in some capacity. I just want there to be more material replay value. I want there to be like daily challenges, a training mode. I think they should support the game with DLC. I know how much people hate DLC now, but you know, if they could put most, if not all, of the legacy weapons at least for Dante, if they could put those in the game, maybe have like a non-canon, Devil Bringer for Nero, if that's not something that's just going to come back in the game eventually. They have done stuff like that in other games. And I would like to see them, put those in the game. I wouldn't mind paying a couple dollars for legacy weapons. I think that would offer way more material replay value than pretty much anything else they could do. Even like a new whole level to go through or something, kind of like the Virgil DLC for DMC Reboot. I don't really think that would offer as much, long-term replay value as just some weapons would. So I'm curious to see what'll happen. Apparently the game has been in development for like 4 years, according to Isuno's Twitter. So that means it's obviously pretty far along. It's probably going to release around the same time that DMC4 did, which was like the first 3 months of the year. So maybe around the time of my birthday it'll come out. Anyway, it seems like this is the stealth level, and it's not even letting me access the start button right now. Now hold on, this might work. And here's what I'm talking about. It very openly teases Amelia. You can even hear her talk. I think you even see her in one of the cutscenes. But you still can't play as her. Alright, I'm not going to bore you guys with the stealth level. Let me try one more time to get to the elevator level. And if that doesn't work, I'm just going to call it a video. I pretty much said what I needed to say at this point. I think it's kind of hard to pass judgment on something that was like 90% cutscenes. The official Capcom Unity post that they made for it kind of quelled a lot of my fears. It runs at 60 FPS. With the graphics looking that good, I was kind of worried it was going to be 30, but it seems like they got it to run at 60 somehow. I mean, the character designs do look a little gritty. I don't think Dante looks as cool as he did in DMC2, but they're getting feedback about that now. Since this game probably isn't going to be treated like Marvel Infinite, they probably are going to look into taking feedback and stuff. I hope that they do work with the community, the like Chaser Tech and the people who still play that are like way better than I am. I hope they work with them and get them to improve the game. They did do that with DMC Definitive Edition. They pretty much just copied a bunch of the mods for the PC version wholesale over to the console version, and they got what was his name, Sam D, to come out and do the gameplay footage for the trailers and stuff. I hope that they'll continue to have that kind of community interaction, because I think a lot hinges on the game. That's one thing that people aren't really thinking about. People are complaining about the hairstyles and the way that they look and stuff, but I think what's really important is that they're obviously dumping a lot of money into it. If it's been in development for 4 years, or I don't know, it may have been like in concept stages for like a year or something. It's probably been at least 2.5 to 3 years. They're probably dumping a lot of money into it. They need to like actually make sure that it sells, and the suits of Capcom are always crazy with their sales expectations and stuff. So I hope that they'll work with us. Probably not necessarily me. I'd probably be a better fit for like maybe helping input on Warriors Orochi 4 or something than DMC, because I never really got to the level that everyone else did. But hopefully they will do that. I think it'll be a good game. I'm definitely going to get it on day one. I probably will get the Steam version just in the case of mods and stuff, depending on what's possible. I don't know how moddable the Resident Evil engine is. I don't know anything about Resident Evil 7, but I hope that modding will be a possibility as well. Anyway, that's it. I'm sorry I can't show the new level. Seems like this game's still kind of a buggy mess. So I'll try to get around to it. I'll talk to the developer and see what's wrong, and then I'll get back to you guys on that later. But yeah, here's my thoughts on DMC5. I'll probably put up some footage of the style switcher later this week. Thanks for watching. Peace.